Okay, I am beginning now. Good evening, everyone. I am Mitali Bhattacharya, General Secretary, All India Forum for English Students, Scholars, and Trainers. I heartily welcome you all to the sixth episode of our Unmute interview series, wherein the focus will be on unraveling art of heart and heart of art with our esteemed guest today, Ms Namrata Talukdar, who is for me a woman with many talents. Ma'am, I warmly welcome you today for a heart to heart conversation wherein we are looking forward to listening to your insights on love, life, poetry, and dreams. Before we begin with the interaction, I would like to take an opportunity to humbly introduce you to our viewers today. Ms. Namrata Talukdar is a resident of Guwahati, Assam, who is a poet, proficient communication trainer, and a lyricist. Her deep love for poetry has driven her to publish three remarkable collections in the last 5 years and one song release, followed by more to come. Her poetry collections are A Palette of Feelings, published in 2018 by Kasturi Publications, Scribbled Overtone, published in 2021, Wisen Monk Publications, The Quest, published in 2022 by Guwahati Grand Poetry Festival. And I'm fortunate to have these copies with me. This is Scribbled Overtones,
So,
and this is The Quest, and we'll also share the links with you, with all of you, so that you can also have a peek into her poems. Currently, ma'am is working as a placement officer and trainer in a leading university of Northeast India. She is intricately connected to the literary world and regularly contributes to newspapers and magazines. She has active participation in poetry forums, and she firmly believes that identification of one's passion is a great form of art. Her poetry topics range from pessimism to patriotism, Tagore to romance, and from rains to spirituality. Poetry for her is where she finds peace and solace. In her poem titled Why I Love Poetry, she has penned down her indelible connect with poetry through the lines, I feel safe in the bosom of the black and white words. What a beautiful line, ma'am. And we would love to know what lies in the bosom of your poetry and other endeavors by you. Over to you, ma'am, and we are looking forward to listen to you.
thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful introduction. And this is a very special moment for me. I am associated with IFEST from the year 2021. And before, also, I was approached for this interview, but for certain things, it could not be done. But today is a very special day for me. At least for me, this is very special. Thank you so much. And yes, and I love this forum, whatever they are doing, and I feel really proud that I am associated with it. Thank you so much, Mitali ma'am.
Actually, it's likewise, ma'am. Maybe more than you, we feel fortunate, and I specifically, because I got the opportunity to, talk to you and talk to you about your works. And I read both of these anthologies. I went through your Dreams Endeavor website, and I feel that the kind of work that you are doing, it's multifaceted, and to carry on so many things at one go, I feel that takes a lot of skills and courage and confidence. And I think you it's amazing. And this conversation today will revolve around the three things that you are specifically doing, your poetry collections that I showed right now, the Quest and Scribbled Overtone. And you are also a lyricist, so we would like to know about your projects that are in the pipeline, or in you're already involved in, and also the Dreams Endeavor website and the project that you are basically heading. So that way, I think we should start right away with poetry, because that is something which is very close to our hearts. And as this, the title of this session also is unmute series, it's unmute series. So what's there that is heard, we all know, but then unheard is something where the melody lies. So ma'am, can you please start by sharing what inspired you to start writing poems?
Actually, the thing I started writing from class 7 when I was in class
Lovely.
7, and the inspiration was like I used to like all the English classes and I used to hate maths classes.
Same
And
here. Same here,
yeah,
ma'am.
and the inspiration you can see that whenever I used to cry for anything at that tender age, I mean 14 or 15 I was, so I was numb, I get speechless, I cannot express in words, then I write. And my first poem was an Ocean at night. Yeah, that was like something fantastical. I was dreaming, so that dream only I couldn't share it with anyone. The dream I dreamt, it was something very odd, also fantastical, and something you cannot share. Something
Right, right.
so those things actually, the pain of the people when I see and I cannot express it to anyone actually. I'm a person who, when I'm sad, basically, I can express happiness, but I cannot express pain. So I have a lot of it. So that's why I become numb and I just bring my best friend, that is the pen and the paper, and I
I think
just,
I think that is something which is very beautiful because what we cannot share with others, I think
yes,
there only the poetry happens. And in
yes,
your case also, while going through your poems, I could feel that. I could feel that connect. That certain things that are unexpressible, maybe are better to be written. So that I could definitely get through your poems.
I just personify the paper. Like I think that I'm talking to someone. So it is like that for me. Like when you went it out,
Yes, yes, it's quite
the
conversational.
time I don't think I'm writing something. Writing is something related to studies. A lot of people relate it to academics or something, but I always like feel that I'm talking to
But
someone.
poetry, ma'am, I think poetry has a very special place, and because
For
it's
everyone.
yeah, for everyone, and it doesn't have to do with a very formal or technical kind of a writing.
It's all about feelings. It's all
All
about
about
feelings.
feelings, yes, definitely. So ma'am, as you said that you were in class 7th when you started writing. So gradually, when you came to college and now at this point of time, so are there any specific poets or writers or literary works that have influenced you to write?
Uh, Actually, when I was around class 6 or 7, Wordsworth was like nature used to really appeal me. Like I would write this and that, and English classes. English 3 was a subject in class 9 also.
Yes,
So, but like I belong to a family. You have to complete your studies. This poetry thing, my parents never understood, and I knew that I had to do this, whatever I'm doing today.
yes,
But at that time, I had to complete my master's. I have to complete my bachelor's. That is something, you always have your focus.
yes,
Everyone, I mean, I
right.
know like around me, I see people that they are not, you cannot just keep sitting in a corner and write down, keep writing things. Yes, nature used to, and then I read Solitary Reaper and, daffodils. All those things were very,
Daffodils,
very exciting.
yes.
Then when I understood, like when the feelings thing came more deeply in class
Mhm.
9 or 10, or maybe in 11 or 12,
Mhm.
then I followed, like I used to like Keats, John Keats, like,
Yes,
and after his, the oars are like, I
right.
describe people, someone I love or someone, something I see which is very beautiful. I try to, I just love his oars, John Keats. Then the pain that he, puts in paper. John Keats, the tragedy, the ballads. So all these things, I always live in this fantastical world of poets
No,
and
no, definitely, ma'am. In fact, all the romantics, starting from Wordsworth and Keats and Shelley,
yeah,
they are actually, are the reasons basically, why we love poetry, and that
yes,
is that
absolutely
is
for everyone.
definitely, yeah,
Yes,
definitely that's understandable because they have written more about nature, and through nature they have connected the idea of love and art and poetry
yes, yes.
and feeling. So yeah, Wordsworth is okay. So you're basically one of the favorites. Okay.
Yes, then kids, and after like those, as my life continued, then the study pressure was there and everything.
Yes.
Like, but whenever that moment comes, I have to write, like as I said, I'm in pain. So
Mm.
then I really remember those days I used to read. Then
Yeah.
after that, the reading also stopped gradually. You know, the poetry books you do not take every day and you cannot read them all the time. So that is the truth actually. And then I started writing, and like that, I never stopped actually. And I started contributing to newspapers, Assam Tribune, which is a very
Lovely.
yeah,
Wonderful.
famous one here. And there's a Horizon section. Feelings column is favorite of everyone in Assam actually. So every like the first poem which was published is Hoping Tomorrow, and I was so happy about it that it got published. So that moment is something else.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's wonderful, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you mentioned that basically pain is the driving force to write poetry. So, what is the typical writing process look like in your case? Like, do you have any specific rituals? Like, do you sit and think about it, or it just comes to you? Like, how do you? What is that process? How do you process those feelings and then turn them into words?
Actually, when I see something or I feel very deeply about it, I think a lot. And that thinking reaches a threshold. I mean, it just reaches a limit. Then I think that I have to write it. Now I cannot, keep it inside because I cannot speak, because I cannot share it with anyone. So, process number one is that. Number two is like when I write something, then I just write it with all my feelings put in together. I mean, I don't talk to anyone at that time. I don't keep on, it's not very frivolous for me. Like, okay, like, someone is coming and going. I sit
Mhm.
alone
Yeah.
and yeah,
So
and
this
I
is a
finish that
maybe a
thing.
meditative kind of an
At one
exercise.
go, I finished. Yeah, I at one go I finish it because that is what spontaneity is all about, right? You don't,
Right, right.
calculate and write, and so that's what happens to me also. And yeah, I
So
do.
you recollect in tranquility, basically.
Yes.
So there are certain things that you observe and then you
Yes,
reflect on
and if
them.
I feel like I have to vent it out now, no, I cannot, because if I keep it within myself, it's really disturbing for me actually. That is a problem. So
Right.
I have to write. That is what.
I think that is where creativity enters, and that and the beauty of poetry happens. So as you mentioned that, ma'am, there's a moment when which you decide that you need to sit down and write. So are there moments of writer's block as well, or sometimes do you feel like you're not inspired enough to write? Like how does this
No,
function
I
for
do
you?
not write actually. I that has never happened to me.
Wow,
That
that's lovely.
either it is yes or no. I'll not write this or
Okay,
I'll
okay. So
write.
there is no phase of dilemma in
In
between. Like,
poetry, that has not happened. Yes, particular articles sometimes, but articles are not like if you're talking about poetry,
yeah,
there is
poetry only.
always
Like
a yes,
poems,
no, there's no middle
does this
thing.
this aspect of writer's block function in poetry or not in your case?
No,
It
in
doesn't.
poetry, it's not there.
Okay, great, great. So, ma'am, there are recurring themes that I could, while reading your poems, I could feel that you are talking about hope, you are talking about life. You also talk about environment, yes, and you have talked about Tagore. You've paid a kind of a tribute to him. So there are so many themes, but there is this recurring theme of how despite all the chaos around us, there is a kind of a hope that one has to cling on to. So these are certain recurring themes that I could find in your poems. So how do you decide, like how do you decide your themes or your topics of poems?
Actually, I always see, from the perspective of my life, the hope, the word you use, the hope, I'm clinging to that only because whatever happened in my life, I'm clinging to only hope. So, whatever bad happens, or whatever happens, a situation, so at the end, I try to make the things happy. Like,
That's I think that is your poems are really hopeful. Like if all the poems that I read in both
hope
the
is there.
yeah, both the anthologies, I could find that there are moments of turmoil or turbulence. You do talk about them, but then the way the poems start, and the way they end. So you are leaving a kind of a hope towards the end. So I was wondering, like, what inspires you to do that. But as you mentioned that, it's a kind of a mentality also that one has.
How you see it, yeah.
Yes, and the
Mm,
kind of worldview that person has. And I think suffering basically brings that kind of a maturity.
yes.
So would you like to share, an anecdote or anything that you wish to, share with us? Like, how do you connect suffering and hope together? What is the relationship between them? Because in during these times, especially, war is going on, COVID happened, and a lot of uncertainty looms around us. How do you relate both of them? Because there are two sides: suffering and then hope, and then again suffering. So we would love to know from you, ma'am, your perspective.
Actually, here I would like to also mention that as you asked about the inspiration of poets, I forgot to mention about Rabindranath Tagore and Jivanananda Das. So
Yes.
they are my ultimate favorites, somehow it got skipped. So what happens is when they write, and my grandmother, she used to read a lot of Bengali novels and books. Okay, and there I found that in Bengali novels, mainly actually, because I studied it from a very, very tender age, means class 3, 4, I used to study them. And like my father used to tell that these are not for you. So I still
But
used
then you
to
had that
read
kind of
them.
a
I still used
maturity.
to read them.
Yes,
And
yes.
I don't know, I understood them as well. Okay. So I found that there is something that maturity came very early, maybe that, we have to be hopeful and
Hmm.
whatever happens. So as time passed, I saw many situations, but that thing has remained. Those novels, those stories, those poems have remained, that yeah, ultimately we have to fix it, we have to do something
Yes.
about it. So
Life has to go on.
yeah, and my personal, yes, there are many things. I do know. Actually, I have lost so many people in my life. So that thing, if I keep on crying about it and said, I don't know, I will continue my life. Maybe I will end it. So the one thing that I can do is I can write. I can do something for
Yes.
the society. I can tell it, and I can just again comes hope. I can just hope for a good future. That is
Lovely, ma'am. Lovely. So, ma'am, yeah, this is a poem in your anthology, Salute of the Dark Soul. So, you have mentioned the lines. I really liked these lines. Oh, human, you are made to love, not ruin. So, I think the kind of ideas that you are discussing right now, I think aligns with this, idea that, oh, human, you are made to love, not ruin. So here, ma'am, what kind of dark soul are you referring to? Like this particular poem that you've.
yeah. As you like saw, like as you observe, and I also said that I always try to make the things on a positive. I want to end it on a positive note. So this poem particularly is talking about a person who is only admiring the physicality of a woman or someone. Okay, so what happens is I'm just trying to uh, fix this person and tell him or her that do not go for only the physical things.
Right,
There's so
right,
much into it, and ruin, last line as you said, yeah, men are made to love, not to ruin, because you do not have to touch everything to feel.
right,
Okay.
right,
So do not, like if it is a flower also, even a
right.
flower, you don't have to pluck it and you have to touch it, then only your love will come out. No, you just admire it.
Right.
You
I
let it
think
come.
this is a very feminist angle to your poem. But then when I read the line, this particular line, I could, maybe universalize it as well. Like somewhere I could relate to the larger humanity also. The
Yes.
kind of, destruction that is
Actually,
happening.
yeah, it
So,
was because I wrote this regarding something related to the 2012 case, I think the Delhi one. Yeah,
okay. Yes.
yeah. So that
Yes.
was something I felt that I don't know if I should mention this or not, but that was affecting, I think, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I was around, I don't know, 2012. Yes, I was in college, so that was very much disturbing. I wrote this poem at that time actually.
Yes,
And
and it's very right now also it's quite relatable
I
both
wanted to
from the
go and
gender
tell these
aspect.
people that everyone who visualizes a person or a woman in that way, that kindly don't, not kindly, I want to say this, that don't do this. So that is how I wrote it actually.
Okay.
I remember.
Lovely. Lovely, ma'am. And the next poem is titled For the Unsung Heroes, and where I could feel that, you are talking about the day to day people who are doing their best jobs and who are giving their best, but then they are not acknowledged. And the title itself, The Unsung Heroes. So, was there any particular person who
So
prompted
yes,
you to
it's a
write
personal.
about it?
It's a totally. It's a personal experience. When I had
Okay,
my son, we had helper
okay.
because I was working in the university.
Mm-hmm.
So she was there, but what happened was I felt that she was not getting that recognition or
Hmm.
anyone I see, because at that time I was a mother, and so obviously my other I can see my friends and my other colleagues also, they are also mothers. So when I see that someone is, when they look after your child, they are like their mothers only now. So like they do not get that much of attention or the good words they deserve. So that thing I feel, and there are a lot of, like, we judge very quickly. This thing
Right,
we
right.
will
I was coming to that, ma'am.
yeah,
That
we
judge,
don't see.
there is this tendency to judge quickly, and all that glitters is not gold. There are people who are working day and night, and without the expectation of
Yes,
acknowledgement, and they are doing great work. So
yes,
I think that the for the unsung heroes, I think it's amazing because as a reader, because as a poet you've had your own subjective experience and you penned it down, but as the reader reads, the experiences differ. So when I was reading about it, I got reminded of all those people who are not working just for recognition. So that is, I think, again the beauty of your poems, that you are writing from a perspective, but then when it is reaching to us, the perspectives are differing and we are able to connect.
yes. And when he was gone, I feel that whatever I am feeling now, she is also having the same feeling. I feel that. Other people might not feel that, but I feel the same for her. The person, the caretaker, or like I used to call her Baido, so like in our language in Assamese. So um, I feel that she is also going through the same. So that thing, that place, people do
that
not
is
give
that
to.
cannot be
That
taken
place is
by
not
anyone
given to
else.
everyone,
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's how it is.
Okay, so ma'am, would you like to read out any of your poems? We would love to listen. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you have any? Can you suggest me?
yeah, yeah, definitely. You can, I think, from the quest only, you can. Let me see. Why I love poetry, I think, would be great.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
I think you do you
that is
have
from
it?
Scribbled Overtone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
want me to read that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Because
We will get to know why you love writing poetry.
oh
We'll get
yes, yes,
an answer also.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So that's why I knew that you have read my work, so I asked you, and you're so sweet, and you're like, and then I thought like it will be great if I read your choice rather than my one.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so okay, I'll read it out. It's from 2021 published Scribbled Overtone. It's the first one actually. The number one poem is this only. Why
Yes.
I love poetry. Why I love poetry. I'm a fidget when I talk. I feel safe in the bosom of black and white words. My pen gives me solace, rhythm, and life. Why I love poetry? Because xenophobia has engulfed my soul, a heaven to rest and pour in. I needed a place where there is all peace and no foul. Why I love poetry? I can talk to my tiny tot in heaven. I'm lost in a blend of real and obscure. I love poetry as we are created to adorn, love, and rebel. I love poetry because that is my corner to cry and love. The power is in our hands to create beauty and nature. Hail the poets and this enchanting world.
Hail you, ma'am.
Hail the poets.
Yeah, you are also a poet, so
I,
I'm
I
saying,
only me, all the poets.
yeah. But as of now, you are our guest, so yeah,
Okay.
towards the end, hail you as well, ma'am. Thank you so much for reading that out to us. We loved it. So now, coming from your works, I'll shift to the process of publishing in general, because now you're a published poet. So, what is the difference between writing as a hobby and writing as a profession, ma'am, for you?
Okay. So, as in the beginning, I said writing as a hobby or like a passion or to vent out your things, you can just sit and write and just let the feelings flow.
Right,
Okay. Now, that manuscript, what you wrote in the corner, crying, laughing, loving, how you wrote, okay, you cannot just put it in publishing actually. I feel that, and that should not be done. I feel then the homework should be done actually. Then after that, if you feel that your work should be read, at least I'm not saying to change anything. I'm not saying that if you change something, then the whole thing, your whole feelings will be changed. But at least, you know, when you are intending to publish something, you can just give it to someone who knows poetry or has been a published poet before, or you can do it by yourself also. You can just read and. If you think that a the structure can be better, that can be done. So these are small, small things
right,
you
right.
can
So,
do.
ma'am, this particular aspect that you talked about, takes me to the next question itself, because you're talking about editing and proofreading. So, how important is it for you to go through that process, and how do you know that the poem is now ready for editing or for the further processes? Is there any moment where it feels like now it's complete and
Actually, for me, the soul should not be gone from the poem. Okay, I don't prefer like dissecting it too much, like
right,
cutting it again and again. I write it at one go, and all the people who write in pain or love or something, they write it in one go only. I know whatever the situation is, they write it, but. As you said, like how I know, like if I read it once again, just a repeat read, I think that is enough for me actually, and it should be done by everyone. It should
right,
not be neglected, like you have written and it's like there only. If you read it and if you want to show it to others, definitely you should read it once,
right.
it will come automatically, I suppose.
Right, right, definitely. So, ma'am, we spoke about your writing process, your inspirations. Then we talked about the entire process followed by editing. Now, once the work is published, it's out there, right, for the readers to read and interpret. Then comes the phase of feedback, which is very important for any author, poet, for that matter, because if readers are not there, the authors won't be able to know where the work goes.
Yes,
So
yes.
that way, how do you handle feedback, the positive feedback, the criticism? How do you deal with that, and how important is the aspect of feedback for you?
Actually, to be very honest, I am not a full-fledged, like my career is not into writing. Yes, I have written.
Because now you're a published poet and
Yes,
you have
yes,
many
yes.
collections.
So yes, definitely, I want people to read, and so criticism, yeah. And if someone is telling me that in the poem something is wrong with the grammar or the sentence is not like correct, or yes, I will take it very positively. And obviously, there's so much of scope. If someone tells me, I'll be more than happy. I mean, and other feedback, like nowadays social media is there, you give, you get
Right, right,
100 likes for 100 for 400 likes also. But the thing is that understanding those kind of feedback and getting it from someone who knows. And it is very important to make a community actually, you know, if you are
Right.
really really. And I'm very blessed actually, and I'm very fortunate that in Guwahati also we have few like the one who is in Monk Publishing, then Guwahati Grand Poetry Festival, Irshad. There are some communities now. Like before, we used to hear all this from our cousins in Delhi, or like our friends, like something is going on there. But now in Guwahati also, they are very active and they are like-minded people. So you should always surround yourself with this like-minded souls who can give you really honest feedback.
Constructive feedback.
Yeah, yeah, not like liking your post or something,
Yeah,
but
yeah. True,
honestly, like we can discuss, we can have a positive discussion about it.
true, true. Okay, so going on to the next question, again, it's about your journey and any insight that you have gained through your journey as a poet, and if you would like to share with others.
Yeah. I have like insight if I say that you should never stop your pen. Okay, you should keep on writing, and like if it is your passion, you should not sideline it. Like yeah, I have studied like other things, okay, computer applications and all, but I have not completely sidelined it. And I will be taking the name of my husband here, Tanmay Das. He has actually reselected that poet in me again in 2018 actually. I was actually neglecting those things. I used to write very less, but in 2018 he asked me like, so many poems you have, like I have three diaries filled up with poems. So I said, what are you doing? Just then I think the publishing thing happened from there only. And
Wow, so I think he's also one of the
yes, yes, he is
inspirations
a
for
big
you.
big
So we
influence.
thank your husband, Mr. Tanmay Das, as well. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir, for that insight that you gave to
Yeah, then
man.
I was not interested. I'm a very, very lazy person. I mean, I don't. Then that journey started from Jorhat, Assam, the first Kasturi poet. That is not available online actually.
Actually, ma'am, this takes me to this fact that sometimes we need a mirror to realize that there's a way we look. We kind of maybe kind of repress it or avoid it, but then in life there are mirrors and there are people who act as our mirrors to make us realize that
Very
we have this
important also.
particular,
Otherwise,
yeah,
you just
a
continue
particular
your life.
talent. Yeah, so okay, that's great, ma'am, that's great. So, also, ma'am, along with being a poet, you are also a lyricist now, a budding lyricist. So,
That's
what
from last year.
prompted you to dive into this form of writing, and whatever work that you have done till now, if you could share that with us?
Yeah, actually, it only began last year. Okay, I was not a lyricist before that, and I never imagined that I'll be writing songs. I mean, that thing, people say that a poem can be converted into a song as well. Okay, fine, but I never visualized it like that. So, what happened is last year was something I didn't know what I was doing. It was very bad for me. I have my cousin Aman, who is he's studying audio engineering. So what he suggested, you write so many things, okay? So why don't you try writing something in Assamese? Means like your own
Lovely.
yeah, mother tongue. Then I also write in Bengali. So these things I never thought of writing other than English. I don't dare to touch, like means like I don't know properly. So what happened that these communities I named, like the forums I'm associated with, there I met some people who really inspired me to write actually. And the singers I met, some through contacts I met them, and that inspired me to write a song, my first song, that was based on a, it was named as Poppy Min. It is based on a novel, Thousand Boys Kisses or something. Yeah, yeah, that he told me like that. So there was a situation, he made a song out of it. It was the Cherry Blossom Festival going on like that. So it was sung by Madhusmita Bhattacharya. She is based in Mumbai now. So that was my first song, and an upcoming song is coming, a second song actually, that is named is Indodhanu. This is also SMS. I just cannot describe how it happened actually. Now also I cannot say it. So I'm still in a trance that I'm writing songs. So
Lovely, ma'am. Lovely. We would love to,
this
listen to
another
that.
song
And
will be sung by Anindita Paul.
oh, lovely.
Yes,
Okay.
and Shankuraj Kaur, he is a singer from Assam. So Pallab Talukdar is the music director. So it just happened. I'm so happy about this song. I'm really excited about how when it will release.
Same here, ma'am.
Well,
And
yeah,
we are looking forward to it. And when may we expect it, ma'am?
this year only
This
maybe.
year.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fine, ma'am. So now coming to the your professional career, which is of a soft skill trainer you are, and you also belong to the field of computer applications. So technology and creativity both are ingrained in you. So tell us about your career in soft skills training. Like if you could talk about that, and of course dreams endeavor, we have the example of dreams endeavor. So if you could just talk about
Yes.
the journey. Yeah.
So soft skills journey, well, after I completed my MCA, I always knew that I had to do something in communication skills. But what happened is my parents, or I don't put the blame on them. But the thing is that I studied science in HS, and that's how I did not shift into some other stream. Okay, so
Right.
I just so computer applications. I did my BCA, then I completed my MCA. But I have never I never had any interest on those subjects, honestly speaking. But I joined as an IT faculty and a counselor in Third Eye College. It's a college like here in Guwahati. Then what happened? It's under Sikkim Manipal University. Then I took some soft skills classes there. So then I got my calling that I can do this. I know I can do this. Then I did a course also. I did a diploma there
Lovely.
only in communication skills. That's how it started my journey. And then I was only a soft skills trainer in the leading universities of like yeah, in Jorhat I was an administrative officer. There I did not get a chance to be a soft skills trainer, but I continued freelancing like for
Right.
Dale Carnegie. They used to call me for
Right.
training to the teachers. So that was really
Right.
exciting. And now it has been 10 years I'm into this field only, and I'm very
Wow. And
happy.
I think dreams endeavor also is connected to the same. So
Dream is really a dream because I never thought that iFest will say a yes to it. First of all, I approached them sitting in my cabin in Assam Downtown University, the last university like I would have worked. My colleague was there and she was telling, "What are you doing? Are you sending this to All India Forum?" I was like, yes, let me. No, she didn't say like that, but she was like amazed. What am I
yeah,
doing? What am
yeah,
I up to? So I just wrote the proposal and here, I would like to mention Dr. Manu Mangatu. He was a great support actually, and I was amazed at like the behavior and the approach they made to Dreams Endeavor was very kind, and I'm blessed actually. And Dreams has some wonderful trainers. They were volunteer trainers. There's nothing like I don't think what they have done for Dream Center World as a trainer, I have not done it as a founder because they are my backbone. They are the ultimate support. I have a WhatsApp group. Maybe I can add you also someday. Yeah.
please do. I would love to be a
Yeah,
part of it.
13, I have a website
Yes.
which is under, it is, undergoing the redesigning procedure, and we have around 13 people there. Some of them Dr. L. Gayatri Devi ma'am, then Shivangi Gandhi, Sri Priya ma'am, Maria from all the way from Argentina, Maria ma'am. Jyoti Priya ma'am, she did a session for our university as well. I cannot stop talking about dreams. It will go so long.
No, no, no.
I
It's
don't want to
absolutely
really tell about dreams.
understandable, ma'am. And I think recently you also had a very successful event. If you could, speak about that. There was a soft skills event that was very successful, and it was on Facebook and out there, and we talked about it.
Which Dreams Endeavor?
Yeah,
I think, yeah, actually, it
kind
was.
of a workshop kind of a thing happened, right? Where Maria ma'am was
Yeah, actually, no, no, it was
there.
not. It was not organized by Dreams actually, but she mentioned Dreams Endeavor in Qatar University, so that was something big for me, for
Yeah,
our like forum, like something going international. And she spoke. Yeah, she was invited to Qatar
yes,
University, and
because Maria ma'am again is a part of, IFEST and Dreams Endeavor, so that kind of a representation happened. So it was a huge success for
yes, yes.
that.
For me, it was a big thing that Dreams actually got named there. And one more thing, like just a bit of an idea about Dreams. What is Dreams
Yes,
Anywhere actually? We are trying to pull all the job seekers. Like, job is something everyone needs, okay, just for survival or like anything, okay, but for lack of soft skills they are not able to, and it's not possible for everyone to pay such huge amounts and do personality development courses. So
right.
this is what we are aiming to. Like, you might be, all of the people, they do not know what is Dreams Endeavor. So what we are doing, so we Dreams Endeavor in collaboration with IFEST are we are targeting those job seekers, and anyone can approach us, our trainers. In fact, Priyanka ma'am, then all the others, like, I am so sorry, I have 13 people. Can I name them all?
Yes, yes, please, ma'am. Please do. Please do.
So yeah, Suresh sir, Jyoti Priya ma'am, Priyanka Datta, then Shivangi I have already said, Gayatri ma'am, Ragalatha Reddy ma'am, Shipriya ma'am. Then I don't know if I missed someone. Maria I have already said. Yeah, and Manu sir, yeah, he was is
Manu sir
already
is
there.
our driving force. I think he's omniscient, he's omnipresent,
Yes, yes.
and
Manu
without him,
sir,
we can't function. So, yes, he is, I think, the be all and end all. And so, basically, Dreams Endeavor, and it's been how many years, ma'am, that this is running?
yeah, it's like in 2021, 19th April. 2 years
Okay,
is
two
this.
years.
Yeah,
So Dreams
yes.
Endeavor is 2 years old.
Yes.
Great.
Pranjal Bhatt, yeah, I was just,
You are
quoting
recollecting.
on that
Yes,
moment there.
yes, yes.
And yes, Orokia Lucy, she has not completed her PhD. I think she will do it. And there were some very special sessions taken by, I think, Fatima, and one, I think, was from Kashmir, Rasool sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they were I just forgot the name, but they were there. And whenever like we need special sessions, iFest like is always there to give. Like, we have done some wonderful sessions in the past actually. But
I
yeah,
think,
after 2022, I could not give much time to do.
right, right.
But I'm coming back. That I
Coming.
can say.
That is quite evident, ma'am. You are
Yeah,
back, and you're back with the bang.
yeah.
So yes, we are waiting for your comeback now again. And I think as you mentioned that it's a very, I think it's a community service that you are doing. And I think because it's in collaboration with IFEST also aligns with the same idea. The larger good, the
Yes.
larger good should be the priority. And dissemination of knowledge without any ulterior motive should be the priority. So I think it's an amazing endeavor, ma'am, and I wish to congratulate you and thank you for coming up with this idea and helping so many people out
I
there.
thank my trainers completely. I am nothing without them actually.
Right. As
All
a team, ma'am, congratulations to your entire team,
Thank you.
and an acknowledgement to all of you, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful work that you are doing. And ma'am, like now, the questions will be more towards, you as a person, a person, because you are a multifaceted
Where I will get
individual.
stuck.
No, 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 no. You are a multifaceted individual doing so many things like writing poems, lyrics, being a founder of an endeavor, and also having your own personal life. So how do you multitask? Because it's all about the mind, right? It's all there here, the way we function in our lives, despite the chaos that is there, despite the problems that are there. So because these are very tough times, and people like you inspire us. So what keeps you going ahead, especially when you think that you won't be able to function, but then still the output is great, the kind of work that you are doing is great, you're helping people. So how do you do it? Like, we would love to know that.
Actually, maybe because I'm surrounded by very positive people. That is one thing I would like to say because me as a person is not positive at all, and I am a very very sensitive person. You can say you can just tell me anything right now. I will start crying for 3 hours. So this is what I am. But the people around me, my husband, my friends like my colleagues, my friends. I do not because I am a person who is very sensitive. I do not keep people who I see as a threat or like a negative
Right,
influence on me. I
right.
just remove them very politely. Means not remove. I don't means like associate. So what happens? I see that my other people, the surrounding is also like that. They multitask. They multitask like anything. I mean, so that obviously you get that influence. You are
Yes, yes.
automatically that energy
I
comes.
think that is very infectious in a positive way, because, and this is very true, that you can multitask only when you have a positive mindset, because there are so many outer
Cannot.
forces that try to come into your life and distract you. I think that kind of focus is very important, and priority is very important. What priorities do you have, and how you manage? So thank you for that, because most of the times when we ask, or this question is asked, what keeps you going, it's difficult to answer. But then the kind of answer you gave, that it's the people around you, it's the positive force that they bring. And then you are also kind of open to
Yes, I'm
accept that
open to take it.
possibility,
Yeah.
because there are people who are not ready to see that, or maybe not ready to imbibe that. So that readiness, that acceptance has to be there from the self also. So I think that is a lot in you, and that is why we are
IFEST is
have.
also a reason. IFEST and people
Yes,
like you
yes.
also, priority is very important word. Okay, priority. You have to prioritize things in your life. Otherwise, you cannot give excuses all the time. Like
Right.
I have pain in my life, but that cannot be an excuse all the time. Yes,
I think rather it is you have transformed it, or you have, yeah, you evolved because of that pain, and you have transformed it into an
I'm
energy,
trying
which is,
to.
you're trying
I'm
to do that, and it's reflecting, ma'am, in your works as well. That is why we have three anthologies, and we're waiting for more, ma'am. Like I
going for
specifically
yeah.
am waiting, because I also write poems. It's been like, after getting into PhD, it's tough, because a lot of technical writing is there. But then I do have some poems, and I have also contributed to magazines and journals. But so I know that what poetry writing is, but then that's on a personal level. So people like you who are getting published, I look up to you, because it's important not to leave the kind of person you have been. It's important to stay true to the inner person that we are. So while reading your poems, I got inspired, and I was like, okay, I think I should also resume writing poems now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you are doing PhD. I mean, I can see that, like I can see what you are, your ultimate goal. I can see that. So I'm also looking forward to read a book of yours.
Oh my God. Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
ma'am. You're manifesting it here.
And as
Thank
you
you.
mentioned about the writer's block, yeah, before,
Yes.
now all this publishing work, I wrote it when Sagar was there, my son. So I stopped writing after that, but
Mm.
only for like translations and all I write. If it is a work related thing, I have, there only, as I said, it's a yes or no. So I have stopped. I do not write anything significant. I have not written, or for myself. I have done works. I've done people if they request me like, please, can you write it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can write it. That is like work. That is not writing for myself. Yeah, that has happened to me.
Yes, yes. There is this phase where we don't feel like writing, so that is there. But then I think your poetry is, again, it's coming back. So that's
Yes.
why I said we are waiting for more
I
anthologies.
don't know actually it's coming or not, but now, yeah, I'm trying very hard actually, but I don't want to get lost in this thing. But since
Yeah.
2022, I'm just write because I have to write those things because it's work. But that is, as you said, uh, do you do you sit and if I don't feel like writing, I am not writing. That's why I don't write, as I said. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, as a woman, who has so many feathers in her cap, what message do you wish to give to all the women out there who carry a dream within them?
I don't think I'm someone to give a message here.
No, no, through your own experiences, ma'am, just something which you feel you observe so many people around you, and after going through so much in life and after having certain achievements, we do have a kind of a worldview or maybe a perspective, right? That gets developed inside us. So just whatever you feel that especially with regards to women. So like that is the question here, like.
Uh, in my case, I will say it is very important to understand the people around you because if you are not in sync with them, na, your life is going in a very bad, going through a very bad phase. Otherwise, it will go through a very bad phase because understanding oneself and the others first, and then I suppose you should not lose yourself in. Under peer pressure nowadays it is, yeah,
Right.
like you have to do this, the trending thing. I want to use
Yeah,
the
yeah.
language
Because
of this,
I absolutely understand because social media has put a lot of pressure
that
of
I have seen people going through suffering actually. They're suffering through this peer pressure very much. So do not be true to yourself, be who you are. And this is something, we say it very casually, be who you are, and we just say it, but no one implements it and no one
right.
takes it seriously.
Hmm.
So this line is actually be close to the people
Hmm.
who that instinct you should work
Right,
on,
right.
that
Actually,
this
being who you are incorporates both the aspects, accepting the flaws and working on the strengths,
yes,
but
yes.
then taking both of them, alongside together. Both of it is very important. We need to
And
balance. Yeah.
nowadays people say that validation, people seek validation, but that is also important. I'm not saying that validation is not important at all, but some people are really going in a very wrong path.
Right, right.
So that thing should not happen. Do not, you know, the clicks and the buttons are not your life's
Right.
system. Just listen to your heart. I mean, and like if you feel, as you said about the feedback thing, that's why people are not taking things seriously also
Hmm.
nowadays. So
Mm-hmm.
that is very, I feel that just follow your heart. I mean, you don't have to prove anything. You have to prove, even if you have to prove, just take your time and do it in your own way. Not
Right.
like I have to do it now, I have to post it now. Now, just no, it's about posting only. I feel everything. So I
Actually, social media has, brought a very different kind of a paradigm shift in the kind of a mentality people have. It's like I think even people don't realize this, the kind of pressure that is happening. It's getting inbuilt in our
mean,
life.
I am a victim of it. Means victim in the sense I also do it a lot.
Yes,
So we
yes.
have to come out now of it.
But
Like we
then that
should.
realization should be there that there's a boundary and we need to
And
stop.
we don't talk about this often
Yes,
because
yes.
we know we all have to go open Instagram. Right now, if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
finish this interview, I will open Instagram. So we don't talk about it, right? But
Yes.
if we talk and if we realize, it will be
I
really
think discussion, ma'am, a dialogue is very important, especially when these things are becoming a part of our lives, and mobile phones, laptops, even like right now also we are sitting here, in a session, and our mobile phones are there. So it's very important to reflect and talk about, as you mentioned, that when we talk about things, then only we realize that okay, this is actually happening with me as well,
yeah.
right? So
Yes.
so
And the last message that I want to give, as you said to the own, is just do not, as I said that I'm a believer of that passion is a great form of art. Yes,
mm,
it is true. Identify your passion,
identify.
please, because that is the ultimate bottom line. You have to identify who you are. then be who you are. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays, I think, not nowadays, some people do not know what they are doing. So that
Yes, I think that's very potent, that what you said, that first know who you are and then be who you are. I think
that's
that
right.
is Namrata Talukdar's again a quote here. Maybe you can again
Okay, this
formulate
is
a,
made just in the unmute series.
yeah, made in the unmute series. You can maybe write a poem or an article, first know who you are and then be who you are. Lovely, ma'am. So, ma'am, and I think coming towards the end of our interview session today, one thing which is very important, and as you said, that people these days seek validation. We are running behind so many things, and and people are becoming ambitious also, right? We have so many things to achieve. We have our list, and we have our maybe a priority list, and then maybe a backup list. We have so many things, right? So amidst all these things, what is the meaning of success for you? Because I think because you got published and three anthologies are there, you are working with leading singers, and you have so many people in your circle who are successful. And apart from that, dreams endeavor itself is a kind of a platform which is again counseling so many people. So somewhere, what maybe motivates you, that is one thing. Is it the success or the roadblocks? Because so many things you are doing, of course there might be phases where you feel that, how do I go ahead now? This is a roadblock in front of me. And then once you have removed that roadblock, and you have kind of gone ahead, so you get the success, right? Maybe you hold a session in dreams endeavor, it's successful, there lies your success. So like this, like, what is the meaning of success for you, and how do you place failure in your spectrum?
I feel being happy doing whatever you are doing right now, like that is success for me. And right now, this series is actually success for me because whatever I have done, and like IFEST or the you have invited me to be a part of it. So what happens is success is something I always relate to happiness only. I'm very happy. Even if I go to some other podium, suppose someone, if I'm not happy, I'll feel that what am I doing? I don't want to, So same comes with the work you are doing. So if you're not happy, that is not success. Maybe you are getting monetarily you are very
Yes, I was
successful.
coming to that only, ma'am, because money again drives all of us, and no matter how much we deny, it is an important aspect, especially considering the times we are living in.
That
How to
obstacle you are
maintain
talking
that?
about,
Yeah, obsession is one thing. The need is also
obstacle,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, the need is also there, but then how do we draw a line between getting obsessed with money and then finding a kind of a happiness quotient also?
No, no. Actually, my definition here is as you talked about obstacle, okay, like how I remove it and then I move forward to success or like to my ultimate goal. So here comes the block that I have to work also to get money for
Yes,
all these endeavors. So that
yes,
I don't want to do, but I have to do. But
yes,
there
and
also I have to make some adjustment with dreams endeavor, with my poetry, with my lyrics writing. I don't have to make any adjustment with my mind. But when
yes,
I, type something or I'm doing some placement related thing or what work I'm doing right now that or something related to teaching is not a block. I love teaching, but then some things are there, you have to work and all just to get that money, and that money I'm investing in some other things that I love.
yes, yes. I
So
think
it's always
yes, and this relationship between success and money is, it always kind of, I many a times I think about it, like, is it the money which makes us successful, or the kind of things we need to do? Like, you are the founder of dreams endeavor, so that makes you happy, right? So this thing
how to
always.
run that. You need money to run
Yeah. So,
that.
I and lately I think I also was listening to one of the quotes by someone, like that to be a philosopher also you need to be rich first. You cannot be a philosopher without having money. So this is again a very, I think, subjective question and a subjective topic. We can go on and on talking about it. But then coming back to you, for you, I think happiness is success, and
Yes,
whatever you
and
do
the
is.
failure that you said, that to talk about the failure is when you give up. That is failure for me, for everyone actually. If you give up, that is failure, and if you just give in to the, this thing about the peer pressure I was talking about, don't get embroiled in it. So that will be your failure if you do that. Yeah.
We need to find ways to not give up and
Yeah.
keep continuing. Even if it's fine if we can take breaks in between, that is fine.
Absolutely
But then
fine.
again, we need to come back,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Those were there only. I'm not adding those things, but continue. Like,
Continue no matter what. Yes, the show must go on.
you
Right,
must go on.
right.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you so much, ma'am, for gracing today's interview session with your presence and your wonderful insights. I think, as I mentioned in the beginning, you are truly an inspiration, and the fact that you believe in the idea of human connect. You talked about being connected to people around you. That acts
Mhm.
as a
Thank you.
motivation. The larger good. That you are doing through dreams endeavor and through the poems, I think that is all of this makes you so special, because you are kind of
So
doing
much.
a lot of things, right? So your poems, your lyrics, your dreams endeavor project, all carry a sense of purpose, and that is getting reflected very well. So truly your contributions act as footprints, and for us to follow, for all of us. And on behalf of IFEST, I wish you all the best, and
Thank you so much.
best of everything that lies ahead of you. Keep spreading your light like this, and keep motivating us the way you have been doing. And thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your journey with us, ma'am.
Thank
It's
you
truly
so
an
much.
honor to have this interaction with you. I'm really happy.
Same here, same here. It was lovely talking to you. Same here. I mean, I don't know if I should mention this in the last, that we are the soul tribe.
Yes, definitely. We
Yeah.
are soul tribe,
Mention it. So I mentioned it here only. I didn't.
and and
I
I
couldn't
and
mention
I'm
it.
very happy that
I'm
I
also very
got the
happy.
opportunity to connect with you, and I hope that this connection goes a long way, and we'll stay connected,
Yeah,
and
sure, sure.
waiting for all your works, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Thank you so
iFest.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for the sales.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.